I'm afraid I'm gonna start stuttering. All right. Anyways,
That's the beauty. That's the beauty. I hope you're recording all this because that's the
I
beauty
am.
of episode 1, right? I mean, episode 1, we mess up. We don't know what the heck we're doing. We're going
Yeah,
into this blind,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? And then we improve on it. And then what happens is it picks up steam at like episode 30, right? No pressure or anything, guys, but we got 30 episodes to get famous.
Yeah.
And then people are going to go back and be like, what did this look like in the beginning? And then they're going to look at episode 1 and it's going to be like, whoa, like this is a completely different product. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of episode 1.
Episode 1 has officially started.
Yeah.
So a little bit about the podcast. This is a podcast between the three of us, the two streamers, Lolo Green and Crunky, and myself, Katie Vicious, and just about gaming, about streaming, about anything that entails the two, right? How about you guys introduce yourselves a little bit? Maybe, throw your handles out there, throw your links out there.
Listen, we all know Crunky is the star of the show, so we'll save we'll save the best for last.
Yeah. Okay.
So my handle on Twitch is Lolo Green, so twitch.tv/Lolo Green. You guys can find me on Twitter at Lolo Green X, on Instagram at Lolo Green Official, and on TikTok lologreen.ttv. I've been streaming for almost a year now, like actually going in, like actually trying to stream. It was off and on before that. I would stream a couple hours here and then not do it for 3 months and then do it for 3 hours here and then not again for another 3 weeks. But really actually trying to build a community and becoming a content creator has started last April. With COVID and the pandemic and the support of my friends like you guys and my girlfriend and my mom, really encouraging me to actually go for it because, in conversations I've had with Crunky, I've always said that I want to be it'd be dope if we could be content creators and just stream for a living, but I would actually never even do what it would take to ever achieve that. So I'm like, you know what, let me actually put some eggs in this basket. Let me actually give it some effort. That way I'm not looking back 10 years from now, like, man, if only I had tried, you know what I mean? And COVID, while awful and difficult for so many people, that was the perfect opportunity for someone like me to try to get into content creation. So I've been streaming for about a year now. And I'm excited to see what 2021 is going to bring to me and my community. Now, the star of the show.
Yeah, okay. Well, as they like to say, the star of the show. How's everybody doing, baby? Well, my streamer name is Crunky. You guys on the podcast, you guys know. You guys can call me Hank, is my first name. Much like Lolo, or Logan, I should say. I was streaming probably 2 years ago. I'm like, ooh, kind of give it a real try. And came across Mixer, and I started streaming there 2 years ago. Was trying to find my consistency with it. Didn't really get consistent. I really enjoyed it, but I just never got into the flow. And I found out about having to, actually get a PC so I can do, the cool overlays and transitions and all that stuff. So it got me a PC that allowed me to stream and, a capture card and things like that. But then I kind of put it in my rearview mirror, didn't really do it too much. I was in the process of moving. And then, like Logan mentioned before, COVID and then him starting off in April of 2020 really just gave me another kick in the butt and motivation I needed to get started. So then I kind of went back at it more consistent as we are now in May. My Twitch handle is twitch.tv/Crunky, CRUNKI. We like to get crunky with it on the channel, so drop by. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram with the X in front of Crunky. Okay, so X Crunky is the handles there. But yeah, I teach full time as my real occupation, but I've loved gaming my whole life. I've
An
gamed with my
SAT
friends.
word right there, occupation. That's an SAT word. I don't even know what that means. Let me pull up a dictionary.
My I've loved gaming my whole life, and I've always gamed with friends and family. And I mean, I think we have a good time. I always joke around my family, man. If we were a TV show, like I think we're a good time to watch. We have a good time, so I figure why not just have it there while I'm streaming? Like why not be up? And
There's definitely
if
enough
I
of
could,
us.
if I could make people's day or make somebody crack a smile, like that's enough for me, obviously. And if it grows into something bigger and more real, like the big dogs, power to it. But that's a little bit about me.
That's why I said he was the star of the show using words like occupation.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how to spell that, so that's crazy. And
Occupation.
That's like the poor coupon on
what is that from? What is that from?
that was
Family
from
Feud.
Family
Family
Feud. What he
Feud.
said,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
does that
yeah.
end with Upine or Pine?
Nah, he said things that come after pork.
Oh yeah.
And he said coupon. Coupon.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
Uh,
I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit about me. Katie Vicious. I'm the moderator for these two guys. Their streams. I've been big on gaming PCs for I can't even remember now, but probably about 15 years. So it's been a lot of. Actually, you might be able to see this computer behind me. A lot of building PCs, and yeah, it's just been something that's been a part of me. Been a big PlayStation fanboy. Sorry guys, because I know you guys are pretty big Xbox guys, but
We rocking
it
on
is
that
what it is.
PS5 now.
Yeah, now.
hey, any console.
Yeah, pretty much any
Um,
console, but and yeah, that's my little gaming bio, if you will. Um, all right, and of course, obviously, I'm not streaming, so I don't have a Twitch slash
Yet.
whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Listen.
Yet.
The 2021's a long year. We just started. Maybe who knows? But then there's no mod. Then it's just 3 streamers. And that
Here's an idea.
that's not a fun name. 3 streamers podcast. It's not as it doesn't roll off.
Completely original idea. Could you imagine if your live stream is you moderating? I mean, that's a whole new market that hasn't been tapped yet, right? Like streaming moderation.
How does that
We
work?
might not even want to release this episode because somebody might steal that idea.
Yes, this is true.
I don't know if that. We'll see.
I
Anyways,
mean, listen, all I'm saying is I'm thinking outside the box now.
that's true. You're in the box, but you're outside the box.
I'm in the box, or I'm outside the box. I feel like I didn't really give like a background of my gaming history or my love for gaming, but like you
Absolutely.
guys, I've been gaming forever. Like my earliest like memory is getting a PlayStation 1 for Christmas. Like it's like one of the earliest things I remember. I remember where I was sitting with my back against the couch, opening it up. I remember dominating my 2 brothers and sister in Tekken 2. And then I remember immediately snatching the controller from them and saying that it was my PlayStation and they weren't allowed to play when they would beat me. I was a very spoiled, like I was difficult to be around at that age. I probably,
That explains a lot now. Huh.
Easy, Crunky. All right. Do you guys remember? Like one of the biggest things I remember from that is actually you guys remember when you would hook up like Segas and Nintendos and it would be like on channel 3 was like the channel to play on?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this was the first console we had that had like the red, white, and yellow jacks. So we're like plugging those in and we cannot figure out what channel we're supposed to play this console on. Like it took us forever. And then we see like the line 1, line 2, right? Like that's what it ended up being. Like the channels were like L1 or L2 or whatever. But we're sitting there on channel 3, like, where's the game? But yes, I've been gaming my whole life too, just like you guys, man. Used to always be a PlayStation guy, but then 360 was awesome, and now I just usually get both consoles. As soon as the Xbox Series X becomes available again, I'll probably get that too. And would like the PC game, but unlike that PC you see in the background of KD Vicious, mine isn't quite that equipped yet.
Yet 2021.
Yet 2021, baby.
So 2020 was a long year. 2020 had a lot of ups and downs, had a lot of things go. A lot of people affected by COVID, and because of it, actually, oddly on the bright side of having the pandemic, we had all this time where you guys actually took that time and started streaming. So I kind of just want to go over maybe like a highlight or two of 2020 for you guys, whether it's a game or in streaming, and maybe just something in that year where you thought it was going to go right. You thought you had something that was really hype and it just was a flop. So how about Crunky, you start this time and talk about just something
that I thought was going to be great and then flop for me, you're saying? Is that
yeah. Any you just a highlight and a flop for 2020.
Oh, a highlight and a flop. All right. Well, a pretty cool highlight then, I'd have to say, and what helped kick off my affiliate to Twitch was Rocket Arena came out. Forget when did it come out? It was September or no? Well,
Nah,
actually, like May or June actually.
Yeah, around
Summertime.
summertime.
Summertime. Yeah.
It was like June because it was right when I started getting into a momentum right there. It was like June or July actually. So Rocket Arena came out, and I had this slick idea of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say I live in New Zealand on Xbox. I really wanted to get my hands on it, but I wanted to stream it before other people would stream it because I know it was a new game and it was gonna have high views. So I'm like, all right, let me try it. It was like I was like 6 hours away from it's actually releasing, but I went in the Xbox and just put my New Zealand timeline and the game booted up. So I was like, oh my God, I got it booted up. There's not really too many people right now in the US streaming it. So I go live, and next thing you know, I'm like, I have my family, close friends. We was all in there. It's usually like 7 viewers. And next thing, this number's creeping up. And I'm just like, oh my God. And this is like when I have like 30 followers. And the number's creeping and we hit like so far, it's my high, I think. It's like 27 peak viewers. And we had people in there. And to this day, it brought me my, outside of known family and friends, it's brought me my most, loyal viewer. All right. So shout out to Thompson. But it brought me my most loyal viewer. And I was streaming the game for like 3 weeks. Like week 2 or week 1 of it being out, I was real into it. I was streaming it 3 to 4 hours, like 4 days a week. And freaking Rocket Arena came in and followed me. I lost my mind.
I remember that.
I got up, I was dancing, I was getting crunky with it. I was like, hey, we get crunky with it, baby. But that was definitely the highlight. The flop. What's the flop of the year? I guess for me, the flop, I guess, is when I had to start going back to work. I don't know if this is like a flop or not, but we went back to work. September came around, so we started work again. And I had a hard time finding a schedule. So like the month of September, I think I streamed like 4 times. I got real into Rogue Company, but my numbers were not going up. So it was just I don't know if it's a flop. It was also just a plateau drop point because my growth was like going up, hit a plateau, then it felt like it was going down.
Yeah.
And since then, but it definitely got to pick it back up. The consistency of at least 2 days, same time right now is good.
Yeah.
But I guess I know you didn't ask this, but looking forward and moving forward, I got to find what's going to get the growth back up. Like I said, though, I'm doing what I like and we do it. We're streaming. I get on. I'm enjoying it when I do it. And it's not like it's about being, famous and getting mad donos, but it's like, I want to continue to grow. Like, so we get more random people that I can make their day, make them laugh. And I feel like I haven't hit that. So, the next thing is to find something that I truly enjoy, but that I can find exposure in and get some new growth to move forward in 2021.
Yeah, to move that needle. I hear you.
Yeah, move the needle.
Absolutely.
What about you, Lo?
Um, I would say as far as flop goes, um, it's funny because my flop is kind of tied in with something that would have been my highlight of the year if not for like the last week of the year in December, which I'll get to when I talk about the highlight. But um, the game Warface Breakout launch. Remember Warface Breakout, guys?
Yeah.
I think it was your favorite games. In fact, I think KD Vicious, it was like his second most viewed
I did.
category on
If
Twitch.
there was
Um,
any doubt in your mind that I do not support you, go look at the amount of hours I watch you play Warface. That's all I got to say about that.
watch like over 100 hours of Warface Breakout,
Yeah.
man. I
Yep.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
But Warface Breakout was a game that, first of all, it's what the great part of Warface Breakout was, and this for those of you who don't know, it's like a Counter Strike for consoles. That's pretty much what they were trying to pitch it as, Counter Strike for consoles. And that was a game I was actually really interested in because I really like Counter Strike, but I'm not good at PC. So I'm like, oh great, like I'm good at console gaming. This is like CS:GO, like let's get it. Um, and it actually is what really, I think I could say, catapulted my following, if you want to call it that, on Twitch. I mean, I was getting a bunch of followers every time I was streaming it because there weren't a lot of people streaming it, and anybody who's in streaming, especially who has a smaller community, playing a game that isn't oversaturated and can get you near the top of the list, that's a good thing. So but I would say that's kind of the flop. Like, so that was a good thing. But the reason why it was a flop is because like the game just died. I mean, it was broke in many ways, and it was a game that, although it brought me a lot of followers, like I was really hoping that the game would improve, because a lot of people would come into my channel and it was like I was like known as the Warface streamer, like like people would say that in my chat. I'm not saying that I was the Warface streamer, because to me that was Whoosh. Shout out to Whoosh. But like this game, like people were knowing me by that game. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect, y'all. Like if this game blows up, I'm gonna blow up with it because people come to my channel to watch it. And like the game just fell off, man. It was broke. There weren't many updates to the gameplay. Next thing you know, I'm going on Twitch and there's 3 people watching, like literally 3 people watching in the entire world. And that was a game that I hope could catapult my streaming career, that really just, I would be playing it and there was just no growth. So that was kind of a downer, thinking that I'm going to be famous off a Warface Breakout, and then the game just breaks down. Uh, as far as the highlight, or like, the high point, the end of December, you guys know because you guys are there, you were part of it, but I wanted to put together a charity live stream for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. One of the main things I've always wanted to do as a streamer was be able to stream and raise money. Like for me, like that was like the peak. If I get to a point where I can have a huge following, that I could have a charity stream and raise a ton of money, like that was like what it meant to be a successful streamer for me personally, like when I always wanted to do this. And we decided to just go for it. I had you guys helping me. We bounced ideas back and forth. We had a goal of raising $150 for St. Jude, and we did that in 32 minutes, which was like
insane.
I had hoped we were gonna hit the goal. Like that's why I set it at 150, but I didn't think we were gonna do it in a half hour, especially for the first 10 minutes. If you look at the VOD, I'm just fooling around in a $17 Santa Claus costume I found at a party fair. So we ended up raising on stream $1,100. And off stream I found out there was an additional $500 donation, a $500 donation made in like my name, like they say, made in the person's name, made in the name of the stream, I guess I would rather say. So we ended up raising $1,600 for St. Jude's, and that was like, it was crazy, man. Like Harris Heller, who is like one of my favorite streamers, and I watched all his videos. He jumped into the stream. He was talking to me in chat. He donated money. Like it was nuts. I mean, that was definitely, like, if I've reached half of that feeling in 2021 on the stream, like that's how crazy that stream was to me. Like that was definitely the highlight, man. That was the peak for 2020.
Puts my good thing you went second, because that shit puts my thing to shame.
No, come on.
Nah, man, nah.
Oh, boy.
You had isn't Rocket Arena EA? Rocket Arena's EA, isn't it?
Yeah, man, I had
I
to
think
develop.
so, yeah.
You had EA follow you on Twitch, right? Like indirectly, EA follows you on Twitch. Come on, man.
I'm teasing.
They probably check out your stream every day, like, he ain't playing Rocket Arena today. What's going on here?
They're saying that about pretty much everybody at this point, though.
Yeah.
Well, since Crunky touched on it, what about 2021? What is something that you're looking forward to, maybe, or doing, or just looking forward to happening?
Yeah, well, I mean, I already know I definitely want to do another charity stream.
For sure.
And Crunky's brother actually gave me an idea for what we want to raise money for. I'm not going to talk about that right now because I want to plan that out and stuff. But there will definitely be a charity stream in 2021, and I'm thinking it's going to be the first half of 2021, and then doing the St. Jude live stream again at the end of the year. Those are the two things that I know I want to plan for this year. So 2 charity streams. Everything else I'm not ready to talk about yet. That's what all the famous people say, right? Like we're not ready to discuss the details yet. Right? But those are 2 things that I'm ready to discuss.
Yeah, mine is rather simple and very short. It's like I kind of mentioned before. What is the game category, whatever you want to call it, that I can make crunkies, like that isn't saturated already, that I could be top 10 on, and it has consistent viewership, where I will see growth every time I stream. The question is that so I guess what I'm saying is because I haven't found it, and it's early in 2021. I'm saying at some point in 2021. I want to find that game that I actually enjoy, but it's like, oh yeah, just like kind of like what Lola was saying. It's like, oh, I'm watching Warzone. I gotta go. I mean, Warface. I'm gonna go watch Lolo Green. Lolo Green's the Warface guy. Like, I want a category that I could do that. And it don't have to be a big game. Clearly, it doesn't have to be huge.
Yeah.
It just it's not gonna be a game that's saturated by the big names. But that's kind of where I want to be able to. I want to get somewhere with a game like that, something that's new and enjoyable. And I guess it's hard. I don't know, man.
It's kind of interesting because both of you guys had a new game that the bigger streamers weren't really looking at, and for the most part, those are the games that you guys had the biggest growth with, even though they weren't big games.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys had the biggest growth, so it's probably gonna be maybe it's gonna be something like that again.
It's hard, man. It's trying to find what is going to be big enough that people watch, but small enough that the big people aren't playing it and oversaturating it. That's that weird dynamic.
Such a fine line. Like, you gotta get.
You're in the background of my shot right now. I'm trying to get famous here. You're in the background. Sorry about that.
So let's talk about what the main discussion of this podcast for episode 1 is. I was thinking about Cyberpunk 2077 and the whole thing around
never heard of
that
it.
game. Never heard of it. Well, I can understand if you've never played it, but come on now. No. So this game, man, this game was in development for supposedly for what, like 6-7 years.
8
and like something crazy like that. I mean, if you look at this here, it sold more than 13 million copies despite that awful launch. It had more than 8 million pre-orders. I mean, this game was probably as big as it gets if it's not like a Call of Duty game, I guess, right?
13 million copies, you said?
13 million copies in the first 2 weeks. That was just the first 2 weeks. I don't know the numbers anymore, but the first 2 weeks. But then come the reports that are more recent, where the first report said that Cyberpunk actually didn't really start getting developed until 2016. So that in itself is kind of crazy. And then there's actually another report where the demo from 2018 was entirely faked.
Yeah.
And the staff
I did read something about that.
And the staff actually said that the actual game was months behind what they originally said. You know, that they shouldn't have been released when it was released. So the main question now is, are we in a state with games, especially these big publishers, where we're the beta testers? We're the people who they want to meet a deadline, and they don't care whether the game is finished or not. They're just gonna release that game. They're gonna throw it to the public. The public's gonna eat it up because they've been marketing it, which is one of the things that they did really well. They marketed that game for years, and they did something that I don't know another game has done. And they put a famous A-list, B-list, whatever you want to call them. They put Keanu Reeves as the main person to market it around for all these years. And then when it was released, I mean, I'm sure you saw all the memes that it has now, all the videos of it on PS4 and the Xbox One, where it's unplayable. So are we in a stage now where this is going to be the norm for us?
I think so. I think I would say that the answer to that question is yes. And I don't want to say whether I think that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do think that there's blame for that to be placed. And I think that blame is on us, people who play the games, for two reasons, right? And then before I dive into those reasons, I'll let Crunky can jump in and he can give his what he thinks. But one, because we keep buying them, 13 million copies sold, you know what I mean? And as you said, that's first 2 weeks, right? I mean, after the first 2 days, we knew this game had problems.
Right.
And you said 13 million in the first 2 weeks. I have to think since then it's probably sold another 5 million. I mean, people probably buying the game just to find out, is it really that broken, right? So you got 11 or 13 million, whatever the number was, million copies.
It's 8 million pre-orders, which I don't know. Do those people who pre-order the game, are they in that group that you're
Possibly,
referencing to?
But even if, let's say we take that out, right? That's still 5 million in 14 days times 60, right? Or is the game 70? Was this game 660, right? Because it was, it was $60.
$60.
So that's $30 million, not counting pre-orders. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they were like, listen, we're going to do the same exact thing on the next game because people are going to buy it. So that's number one, right? It's still selling like crazy.
Hold on.
And
I gotta correct you on that, because 60 times 5 is 300 million. So it's even worse.
Wait, huh?
You said 30 million they made.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My bad. I didn't really. I meant to. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
That's 300 million. Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, listen. They moved me to time out. They moved me to ELA this year. I haven't been teaching math. All right, I haven't taught math since last June. Give me a break. All right. But that's 300. Just cut it. That's
yeah.
That's 300. Nah, keep it. That's $300 million. $300 million that they made, right? Not even counting the pre-order. So that's number one. Number two, and I say this as a gamer, this is going to be the most polarizing thing I probably say on this episode, okay? Gamers have this ridiculous sense of entitlement that like kind of blows my mind, right? Like, had they delayed this game, it would have been like, how dare they delay a game? They told us it was coming on this day. They have to deliver it on this, like, you know what I mean? So like, it's like gamers want to be mad that the game ain't ready. But had they said, listen, we're going to just drop it in the second half of 2021, people would have been outraged that they did that. It's like, it's a weird thing. It's like, it's this weird cycle of, well, we can't delay it because people are going to be mad. But if we ship it, then people are going to be mad. But at least if we ship it, we getting paid while people get mad. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of, I do think that this is going to be maybe not to the level of Cyberpunk, because like you said, this was like one of the most hyped games I can remember. I mean, people like Crunky, you got both of you guys, because you guys are cousins. Like you guys have family members that like were talking about, I want to buy a console for Cyberpunk that I didn't even know played games. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. So it might not be like to this level, but I think you're gonna see games get launched that aren't finished products. And it's just like, yeah, pay for it now. And in 6 months, it'll be what you want it to be. Like, I think that's gonna be the norm.
Yeah. So to add to this, this is what I think. Now that Cyberpunk did come out and this happened, and it has all this, attention around it and lawsuits that people, I didn't even know you could, put a lawsuit against this. But this is where we find out, I think, now, if it's going to be this or now it's going to get fought and hopefully this doesn't happen again. But to answer you, are we in a state now where we are the beta testers? I think we are. And I think it's a little shameful. But now this just goes back with the growth of the gaming industry in general and technology and media and freaking just having access to everything and seeing everything all the time. And I'll be the first one to say it gets me all the time too. I can't tell. I promised KD after seeing how this game dropped, I'm like so over, but I'm trying to hold myself to no longer pre-order a game. I don't care what game it is. I'm trying to. That I highly doubt I'll be able to hold myself back.
I'm gonna pre-order Deathloop.
Deathloop is gonna be lit. I'm telling you that right now.
But I'm trying to hold myself back. And I talk in circles a lot, so I apologize, folks. It's just something I've done my whole life. I can never get one point across. Cyberpunk doing this, it just makes me think these big companies, right? AAA studios, what it really comes down to is it really about gaming? And sure, the people that work for the companies, the developers that aren't the ones that are just getting a salary. Yeah, these people, I'm trying to step back and really think about it. The developers, you would think they're getting paid. They care about games. They're trying to put out good products. But their bosses, the guys who own these companies, they're the ones giving them deadlines, right? And these guys this is where I think the problem is. Everything is about money. And for like,
ain't nothing more important than the moolah.
Yeah, I know. So it's not about the actual gaming experience. And when I say that, I'm going to say it again. It's the people that, this is just my personal opinion, that run the company, right? Because we'd be stupid if game developers literally live and breathe video games. Like the stuff they come up, like, no,
Absolutely.
they care about the experience. I'm starting to think, like, try and reflect so to not be toxic against it, like, because I'm such a hater. I just get mad when things don't go my way in video games. But really, it's the head honchos up there that aren't even creating the game, that just run the companies.
Yeah.
Because cool, like we said, granted, I'm a select few. People really did know about Cyberpunk like 5 years ago. Like, granted, all right, it was in development for 8, and now we're finding out it really wasn't in development until whatever. But people knew about it. I didn't really know about Cyberpunk until the 2019 E3. I'm like, what the heck is this game? Like, again, it's like the E3 game of the conference game of the year again. Like, it won it back to back or whatever it did. And it's something that I also do because Lolo knows I research everything when I'm about to find out a game comes out. Like, ooh, I want to know everything. But the real test would be for these companies to shut the hell up and not tell us about your game. But then the problem is now there's not enough exposure to the game. How many people are going to buy it? But truth be told, people are going to buy a game regardless. Like, there's still going to be a select few. And you're going to have your big streamers now who are the people that will expose games, first off. The amount of money that they put the hashtag ad when they're getting paid anyway. So you're going to pay these streamers to play it, right? And you're going to give them early access a
Good
week
point.
early. Stop like dropping big names and big points on this is about to be the best video game. That's like number one, I think. Stop doing that because now you're driving expectation up. And sure, it's our fault. Like, oh gosh, we're human. Like, oh my God, we're gamers. We want to hear about crazy games. But like, if they kind of tone that down, like, think about how much money they spent. But once again, because look, it worked out for them. They all made the big moolah in the end. Like, so that's why I say it's not really good. I don't think it's gonna ever happen. But how do I think we correct it is to try and hold off on talking about like, I guess what's the word? Showcase like hyping it, but like like announcing. Yeah. To try and delay an announcement of the game, number one. And then exactly like because Lolo said like they told us it was gonna be released. That's why it's like if they really told us again, we'd really have to wait like 6 months. If this thing was coming out like this summer instead of December, people would have lost their mind. But once again, why would we have lost our mind though? Because they gave release dates though. That's on like why'd you give us 3 different release dates already? Like so obviously I get being upset. Like you know what I mean? Like you told us it was coming out April. Then you told us it was coming out in September. Then you moved it like well no shit. Like now if you tell me it's coming out in June, I'm gonna be livid. Like that's absurd. So
and you have
it's just like not trying to hold the announcement of a video game and finishing the product. But exactly, I don't know how much money goes into the development. And I think that's where it comes off, where they're just trying to get the game out. And now that's why we're over here playing betas and then they really fix the game. And the last thing is what I was saying is if you try and hold it out and there's not so much hype around it, but I'm telling you, still give it to the big streamers. If the game is good, it will get exposed. If it's as good as bro, I never heard of No Man's Sky the first time it came out. Never even heard of it. I heard about how it's like the most amazing reboot when they I never played it still, but because I just don't think that's my game. But I keep hearing about No Man's Sky nonstop. Greatest thing ever.
It is pretty good.
I had that and I'm someone who bought that game at launch and I was like, this is terrible. I returned it the next day.
Oh yeah,
but same thing. I hear how great it is now.
Exactly, but like if we didn't, someone will expose the game. Okay, these big streamers that have time to play all the time, they will like the game will get exposed. These companies that review video games, it will get exposed if it's good. So there's no need to hide why it's like bad, like. Or the bugs, or make it come out early. That's just my opinion.
And the funny thing is, as we're saying all of this, I'm checking here, and for the first week of January, Cyberpunk was still the number 3 selling game according to Steam.
Yeah.
And in the second week of January, also the number 3 selling game on Steam. And the first one being, at least this source that I'm using, I'm on steamdb.info. So I'm guessing steamdatabase.info. Number 1 is Rust, which all the streamers are playing right now. So of course that's getting a boost, right? So like if they just like to Crunky's point, you know, if you can promote your game by just having streamers play it without having to speak on. And I know that's impossible, right? Like Crunky's like, I don't know how much money it takes to make like they pay hundreds of millions of dollars to make these games. Like I just looked it up real quick. Cyberpunk's budget was $313 million. I mean, that's what you pay to make a blockbuster film, you know, unless it's Marvel, then that's probably even more. But so they gotta make that money back and you gotta hype it up and you gotta do all these things, but it's just like,
damn,
the game has to be, or you would hope, right? As a player, you want that game to be good. You want, and like you said, the developers want their game. I don't think anybody has worked on this game for 5 years and like, man, I hope it's broken, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody's doing that, but like you got the stockholders who are like, yo, we've put up $300 million. Like we need, like this game has to start making some money back, and you have that pressure. and that back and forth. So it's tough, man. Like I said, like gamers are gonna be mad if it's broken. Gamers are gonna be mad if it's delayed. It's very hard to make a gaming fan base happy. If you don't believe me, look at how many people bash Call of Duty every year, and it's the number one selling game every year. And like, you know what I mean? So it's like you want to gain, like we have to, if people really want these things to change, there's like, I feel like the only way you do that, you have to stop buying the game. Just stop buying them. Just be like, you know what? I'm not, if Call of Duty is so bad, like all these, because Call of Duty, I feel like gets more hate. Cyberpunk is getting mad hate right now, but like on a year-to-year basis, Call of Duty gets the most like hate, right? Because it's an annual release game. And people buy it. Or Madden. Madden gets hate every year. Madden's the same. Yeah, Madden is the same, both in gameplay and the fact that every August is going to be the number one selling game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people have to stop buying these games, and that's how it'll change, because you got to hurt their pockets.
You got to hurt them.
You got to hurt the pockets. You got to hurt them pockets. And the last thing I'll say about what Crunky said about promoting through streamers, I remember telling Crunky and our boy Doc Jekyll, I'm like, yo, I heard that there's this game that's like, it's like a battle royale. Nobody knows about it. It might come out in like a day or two. Apparently, they flew Dr. Disrespect out to play it. Like EA's the team, the people that did Titanfall are doing it. And Titanfall's dope. Like, it might be good. 3 days later, Apex. Here you go. It's out. No press. No, like Apex is out.
So good.
That's played it, and it blew up.
Nobody talked about it. They held it literally a week before an announcement. Like, there was 3 days. They announced it literally 2 days before they
really. I didn't
actually
know that.
the perfect one. Yeah, that's when it came out. What, in 2018? But
it was like a Saturday and it was out Tuesday or something crazy like that. They're like, yo, yeah, we flew out all these streamers for our game. We're gonna release it in 48 hours. That's pretty much what they did. They didn't say that in their press release, but it was like that quick. Like, there was these rumors. There were rumors that all these streamers were getting flown out to play a game, but nobody knew what it was, and they all had to sign NDAs. And then I guess once those rumors came out, then eventually EA or Respawn, one of them were like, yeah, like we're dropping a game, we're dropping a battle royale like this week. Like, it was like that quick, and then it was free to play. Streamers played it, and then it was like the biggest game for the first few months. Yeah. And now it's still one of the more popular battle royale games. Like, and it's a little different. Their budget was probably not $300 million like this game, but I do think that there's some middle ground between what Crunky is saying and what Cyberpunk did.
Yeah. Look, just on the last thing, like, but what you just said, Rust game came out in 2018. Among Us, when did it come out? Those games are exposed now. It's so great. People are buying them now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
I think we're in a spot where marketing trumps any type of development, any type of quality assurance, right? It's like, if it can be marketed the right way, if it can be marketed, whether it's through the streamers, whether it's through, the actual company marketing them, then it's gonna get the hype and it's gonna get the sales, and they don't care. That's it.
Yep.
The money.
Yeah. But like you said, we gotta stop buying it, and unfortunately, I don't see that ever happening.
It's too hard.
Like you said, Call of Duty. First of all, I think Call of Duty gets more hate than it should. Me personally, I think that, but it gets all the hate, and every year it comes out, and when it comes out, it's number one selling for a while, and
literally number one selling each year.
Every year.
I think every year it's the number one selling game.
Same thing with Madden. Same thing with like any sports game really. They kind of.
I also do think though. Now that I don't, not to change the conversation here, Mod. But yeah, because you're saying like Madden exclusive deals for like categories needs to end, because it doesn't. Then that's also complacency. I think if developers are competing, you get better games. Because we haven't had a 2K football game. True. Madden's like not trying to. They got no competition.
That makes sense.
The show. Like, oh my gosh.
And KD, you mentioned Call of Duty, like, right? Like, I just pulled up a list, right? Like, literally in the past decade, if you're not Rockstar or Call of Duty, you're not going to be the top selling game. So Call of Duty blew up with Call of Duty 4, right? So 2009, Modern Warfare 2. 2010, Halo Reach. That's the only non-Rockstar Call of Duty game from then until like now. So you got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Halo Reach, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, GTA 5, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty World War 2, Red Dead Redemption, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's literally Call of Duty or Rockstar every year since 2011.
Rockstar drops a game, and that shit is
Right. So in the next in 12 years when GTA 6 comes out, right? Then a game will knock off Call of Duty, but until then it's not happening.
That's because that keeps happening, what is their incentive to try something different or try harder or whatever you want to say? It's like, there's
None.
They're comfortable, and the only way that you got to be uncomfortable in order to grow. That's it.
And even if the developers come in and they're like, "Yo, guys, we have this great idea. We're gonna do da 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 da," and the stockholders gonna be like, "Yeah, well, this made us. This was what got us 13 million copies in 2 weeks, guys. Let's not steer away from the game plan too much."
Yeah,
exactly.
Here's the sick part. What if the stockholders are like, "Yo, we know the game's broken, but guess what? We're gonna get our 13 million copies, and then when we fix it, we're gonna get another 13 million copies when we start selling the next gen version."
Another good example right now is great game, by the way. Not knocking it at all, because this is a good game. GTA 5. Talk about milking every penny out of that game. These guys they're not doing GTA 6 until
That's why, right?
Numbers going, bro.
That's why I said it won't be another 12 years. Every time I look up, there's a new expansion for GTA Online.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't it been out for like 3 generations now or something like that? Did it start on the PS?
It literally started
Yeah.
right before the next gen. Yeah, it came out. It was
I had that game on 360. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
it was like,
and then I had it. And we got it on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been on, and now it's still around, and it's still. I think they say I think I heard on a podcast on IGN, it's the number one selling media thing, like movies, music, video, like the number one media, like as far as how much how much money it's made. Maybe not like most copies sold, but there's not a single piece of like media that has made more money than GTA 5.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Rockstar too, how I hear they're huge. It's like the biggest development team. Maybe they're taking a piece of the advice I said earlier. Like, of my opinion, obviously it's not like I was giving them advice. What if they just done a really good job? GTA 6 is under wraps, and we hear about it like a year before it comes out. You know, because maybe to really think that they haven't worked on it, I think they definitely been cooking it up a little bit.
Well, they had to step away from it for a little bit because they made Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure a bulk of their team, maybe they had a couple people working on GTA 6, but the majority of their team working on Red Dead Redemption 2. But they have to be. You got to think they're working on it. I mean, they're probably. I would think is going to use the same like game engine as the last one, right? They're probably trying to come up with a story and stuff. I'll tell you what, as freaking crazy as, because GTA, like the best part of it is always like, it's always like making fun of society and what's going on in the real world. They got a whole lot of content right now, don't they? They probably like every time they come up with a good story, something probably pops up on the news where they're like, yo, we got to add this. Hold on. This is crazy. Like, how can we make fun of this? How can we make fun of that? Like the reason why it's probably been so long is because of how crazy the world has been recently.
And I mean, as far as franchises go, that's one of the last franchises that really needs to put effort into hyping themselves up. They can say it this month. They're gonna be like, oh, next month we're gonna, and it's already a wrap. It's gonna get all that money back. So
exactly.
That whole development team, right? Like not even just GTA, but like Rockstar is like anything they do. Like if they came out and they say, yo, we about to make a game about like you're a pet dog.
You know what's
that's
funny?
The game. Like people will be like, "Oh snap!"
Yeah, a game I even came across. Apparently, people loved it. Like I obviously came across a thread, so hence it was the people that loved it. But like Bully 1 and 2, I never played. Apparently, they're amazing. Like people loved it and were like, wish they weren't working on a GTA right now and they dropped another Bully.
Yeah, I remember when Bully launched. It was like I never really played it, but it's
Yeah.
pretty much just like I think it's like just not open world. You're like a kid at a school, and it's like you're just wrecking havoc in the school. It's kind of like GTA but smaller.
How about this too? Wait, are they
Yeah,
LA
you're
Noire?
like at like a private school. Yeah, they did LA Noire. That game was good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that game was great.
That game
They
was
did the
dope.
Manhunt games. Those Manhunt games were disturbing, but pretty darn good. The first Manhunt is dope. If you've never played the first Manhunt, it's scary and it's kind of sick, but it's a
Shout
good
out to
game.
Rockstar, man. Good for you guys.
And that brings us to our sponsor of this podcast.
Yeah, right. That'll be the day. Rockstar energy drink, maybe not Rockstar. Maybe one day, just have a whole bunch of Rockstar energy drinks behind us.
In the back, have
Yeah.
my
or
little
just a company that makes star-shaped rocks. I'll take that.
Jeez.
You stupid.
But we were talking about growth. We were talking about how these companies can grow, and earlier we were talking about your Twitch careers and how to get them to grow and stuff. So the other thing to talk about is you guys have these Twitch careers. What other piece of social media do you feel, and try to limit it? I mean, obviously there's a whole bunch and there's reasons for to use multiple, but if you just pick one other social media that gives you the best chance to grow on Twitch, which one would that be?
I heard Crunky got an OnlyFans.
Nah, let me stop.
Right.
You know what's funny? I'm trying to see, because really the only ones I have experience with at the moment are Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, I really don't know which one helps to grow. I haven't, and this is on me, something else to work on. Like, I haven't, I guess, spent enough time with either one in the aspect of like, how can I actually use this to grow? Right. And that's on me. Because I'm thinking like Instagram, it's automatic instant media file. So maybe it's like good for the clips. And I feel like that shows you really what's on your stream more. And I feel like maybe it can be Instagram, but it's like, I don't know what people are on Instagram, but it also just, either way, you're hitting a target market, like on either one. Because it's like, as much as I don't think anyone's really on Instagram for that, it's like, no, there's the whole gaming community of Instagram, and then there's the whole gaming community of Twitter. And to be honest, I don't know. So maybe this is what I'll also figure out this year is Instagram. I just don't feel it's as saturated. So you might have a better chance as a smaller streamer growing rather than Twitter, where it's so saturated. Because I feel like there is a lot of gaming content on Twitter, but it's just, once again, the big guys, the verified check. Like, so I feel like it's hard to get caught there. But
yeah,
I don't have enough experience in either to give a clear answer on which social media platform or whatnot will help boost Twitch. And I'm sure Lolo's probably going to talk about it. Another big one is what the guys say, to have a YouTube channel. But I'll let Lolo go now.
Why, thank you, sir. I think that are you asking what social media gets the biggest following, can help you get the biggest following, or the biggest following on Twitch?
What social media helps you the most for your Twitch career?
For your Twitch career, I think that YouTube helps you the most for Twitch. I think that TikTok, and this doesn't quite answer your question, but it's like something I want to add. I think TikTok gives you the best opportunity to build a following. Now so TikTok, it has this algorithm, and when you like things and when other people like things, it gets you on their page and it's so quick, right? People look at something, if they like it, they double tap it. If they really like it, they probably follow, right? Like it's that quickly, right? Yeah. So you can get a lot of followers fast, especially if you're putting good stuff on there, right? Like I created a TikTok a couple weeks ago. My first TikTok wasn't even gaming related, but my first TikTok got like almost 1,200 views. I've never gotten 1,200 likes, views, anything anywhere. Like, so for me to just put something on there that was fun to make and I'm laughing to get 1,200 views, like that, a lot of people saw that in a very short period of time. And, you see that if Crunky pulls up his TikTok or if I pull up my TikTok, you probably see like the least amount of views I have on one is almost 200. Am I getting 200 people seeing my tweets or 200 people seeing my Instagram posts? Probably not.
Nope.
But 200 people are seeing my TikTok, and then people are following and people are liking, and then it's getting to more TikTok pages. Now, the problem with TikTok is like the nature of TikTok is I scroll, I'm either going to like, I'm going to keep it moving. At the very most, I'm going to do is like the most time I'm going to spend on that is to like it, comment something funny, and leave, which is going to take 5 minutes, right? Now, that doesn't really translate much to Twitch because how do I follow somebody on Twitch? I got to go on Twitch. I got to create an account. That takes time, right? And then after first of all, I got to hopefully, and the quickest is if I find a username that's not available. If I don't, then I got to find one that's available. I got to do all of this stuff, put in my information, my name, my email address, like, so TikTok is such a rapid, instant gratification. I think it's hard for people to go from TikTok to be like, oh, this guy streams on Twitch. Let me go follow him on Twitch. And then they get there and it's all this extra stuff they have to do. And I'm good, right? So I think TikTok gets you a lot of exposure, but doesn't necessarily help you on Twitch. Whereas YouTube, I mean, to have like you have gone through the process to have a YouTube account, right? Like if you're subscribing to a channel, you have invested that time of I have to create an account and then I follow this person and I subscribe to them, I comment. Like there's already there's already steps to that buy-in process on YouTube. So to do that, to go over to Twitch, it's not that much of a jump, right? Like you've already put in this time to follow me here. Why not put in that time to follow me on Twitch? Like I think that has a lot to do with it. And also on YouTube, if you're looking up a video, like the recommended page on YouTube is like their freaking algorithm is great. I mean, I don't know if you guys look at the recommended often, but like I feel like I'm usually like, yeah, I do kind of want to see that next video. Like that does look interesting. So like, if you start coming up on recommended and stuff like that, people click those videos and then you know what I mean? And you watch that one and then you watch previous videos. Like I feel like the carryover from YouTube to Twitch happens much more often. Even if you maybe get less people seeing you on YouTube, I feel like there's a better chance that, like, let's say 100 people see your tweet, 100 people see your Instagram post, 100 people see your TikTok, and 100 people see your YouTube video. I think there's a greater chance that someone is going to go from YouTube to Twitch than just about any other social media.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're pretty big on TikTok, but I actually think it's just, it gives you a lot of exposure, but the environment between TikTok and YouTube or Twitch is so different that I don't know how it can really complement you as much as people would want it to. Like if you think about it, TikTok is what is it? 60 seconds tops, a minute. So it's a minute of your cuts and edits of a whole bunch of different stuff to get the most out of, what you're trying to say, your personality through it. And then they go over to Twitch and it's just a live stream. It's not the best of. It's you, you playing the game or saying, just chatting for hours or whatever it is. It's not quite the same. Whereas YouTube, yeah, you're going to do your edits. We're going to do our edits and stuff, but it's the same kind of long, like the media is that you obtain is longer. The amount of time that you're on YouTube is longer. Stuff that you watch is minutes, 10, 20, 30, whatever. So it kind of helps to convert to live streaming where you're going to be able to sit there for that amount of time too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely about, I think it's a psychological thing of how much time you've already committed will translate to how much I want to support, right? Like you said on TikTok, I could watch 100 of your TikToks. I could, right? And it'd only be like, what, Like not that long, right? 20
Yeah.
minutes, like not
Yeah.
even, right? Like depending how long your TikToks are. Like I could watch a whole lot of those in a very short period of time,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like I've really committed that much time to you. Like,
Right.
and I'm not gonna just look at 100 of your TikToks, but if I watch 10 of your TikToks, right? Let's say if I watch 10, and I probably don't even watch the whole thing, I'm taking 3-4 minutes out of my time. Versus if I watch a couple of your YouTube videos, I've committed a lot more time to that. And it's almost like we wanna make sure our time was worth it. I feel like there's a level of, man, I've already committed this much time to watch you. The least I could do is go follow you on your Twitch. You know what I mean? Especially if I already have a Twitch, which I have to think most people who are on YouTube looking up gaming videos probably have a Twitch or wouldn't mind going through that creating a profile process.
Right.
Whereas if I'm on TikTok because I want instant gratification. I feel like that's the psychology behind TikTok. I want boom, 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 boom. Like that's what I'm here for. So I don't want to go from boom, 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 boom to Twitch.tv. Right. Boom. Like, bro, I could have already watched in that time right there. I could have watched six TikToks. I could have watched 6 of them already. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's a correlation between time I've committed and wanting to make sure I haven't wasted my time by going to support you more. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Or, I mean, you could just go to Crunky's OnlyFans.
I'll put that link in the
This is-
description
I
down
do
below.
not have OnlyFans
Yet.
yet.
I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it was happening. I knew it was happening.
Oh, man.
God. Get
Yo,
outta
wow
here.
for that. Yo, wow for that. Go to, yeah, wow for that.
That's too funny.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I mean, man, that was. How do you guys feel about the podcast? How do you guys feel about the flow of it? What are your thoughts as we end it?
I thought as we started it, I'm sure you guys had Lolo's a stone cold killer, so I'm not talking about him. I know KD might have been a little nervous. I was a little nervous, but after 5 minutes in, it was all natural. We
Yeah.
was talking about things that we really enjoy and is
Mhm.
part of our everyday lives. I definitely think there's a lot that we could do with this podcast, and there's the way gaming is going, and I don't know how to categorize industries and whatnot, but we could sit here and say in the last 10 years, the exponential growth of gaming.
Oh, SAT word.
The growth of the gaming world, man, is I don't think anything tops it right now in the past 10 years. So there's always going to be stuff to talk about, and I definitely think we got ourselves a little something here.
I don't think I've been paid enough, if I'm being honest. I
You
feel
getting
like you guys didn't.
No.
I didn't get paid.
Just kidding. Nah, but man, I think it was great, man. I think it's awesome. I'm looking forward to doing this some more. I think that, like Crunky said, man, when it comes to gaming, there's an infinite amount of things to talk about. I think that this was one of the more cordial episodes that we'll have, because I'm sure we're gonna start talking about some things that are gonna drive some debates. And I think those will be fun to do too. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to look forward to what this can grow into, man, and just seeing how people respond to it and the feedback we hear from people. What they like, what they didn't like, things like that, man. But I think that there's a lot of potential for something like this, man. Just three guys who love it.
Dangerous word.
Potential. I mean, Cyberpunk had a lot of potential, right?
That dangerous word, man.
But yeah, I mean, three regular guys who people can know aren't
it.
being like, even though everybody's usually wrong when they say this, but like, they paid you to say that. Like, I can promise you, ain't nobody. Look at my outfit, bro. You think I'm getting paid to say this? You know what I mean? Look how rough I'm looking. You think I'm getting paid to say this?
I'm sponsored by Gymshark,
But yeah, man, I'm excited. I had a good time, man. I'm looking forward to more episodes, more EPs.
Yes. I don't even know how to do
How'd
this.
you feel about it, KD?
Me, you know what? I like Crunky said in the beginning, I was super nervous. I even know for a fact you can hear it in my voice. If you go back and you listen to it, you can hear my voice. I know for a fact. But yeah, like you said, once we got into the rhythm of it, it was real cool. Like you said, there's gonna be times where we are gonna debate, we are gonna argue, and I cannot wait for those times because
We're gonna have to get some special guests on here too.
well, yeah, of course, we're gonna get some special guests. I don't know who's special enough, but we're gonna get them. And you know, Logan always thinks he's right, so I can't wait for that. So you know, yeah, it's I like the building block that we're on right now. I like the foundation that we put together.
Just be ready for Lolo to find the one point that he'll go to side with just because he doesn't want to side with you.
You know what, guys? I was just saying how cordial this episode was. I'm about to, you know what? I'm about to leave. I'm getting out of this damn Discord. I'm about to play the greatest game ever made, Cyberpunk 2077.
2021.
Messing to Europe. Cut that part out. Let me redo that. I'm gonna go play the greatest game of all time, Cyberpunk 2077.
Guys,
the most underhyped and overperformed game ever.
Listen, you get paid like they get paid. I'm sure you wouldn't care. Guys, how do you outro your YouTube?
Well, first of all, Crunky, where can the people find you? Don't give your address. Don't be weird. I'm talking about like your social medias, your Twitch. Don't be going out here telling them where you live.
You guys know where to find me. Twitch.tv/Crunky. Let's go.
Is the Let's Go part of the URL?
I knew you was gonna ask that. No.
So it's, let me find out. Twitch.tv/Crunky. Let's go.
Nope, it's not there.
Nothing comes up. Nothing comes up. This user is not found. I'm gonna make it now. I'm gonna make that one. I'm gonna steal that from you so you can't ever use that.
Hey, CrunkyLet'sGo.com. Oh, I get on it right now. Domain. Go get it, mod.
What about Twitter and IG? TikTok, Twitter. all the socials, socials. Where can we find you?
I'm gonna plug them in. Come on.
Crunky, Instagram, Crunky, Twitter, Crunky, YouTube. Type in Crunky at the top. Crunky.
Yeah, you have to hit criteria before you can get get your own URL.
It won't come up like that. You got to just go to Crunky.
He said, type Crunky at the top. Lolo, what about you, man?
You can find me on Twitter, Lolo Green, X, IG, Lolo Green Official, TikTok, LoloGreen.ttv, and on Twitch, twitch.tv/Lolo Green.
This guy needs to find some consistency. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, you can't. I want it to be Lolo Green Official across the board, but you can't. Like, it's not enough characters on TikTok or Twitter. Like, it doesn't fit. It's like there's no L, so it's like Lolo Green Offica.
You should have been Lolo Green off.
Officia.
Lolo Green off.
You trying to turn me off right now?
Nah, man. No.
It's about to get really weird. All right. Cut it. Yeah, cut it out. All right.
Are you done filming, or like, are you done? Because like, watch what like I can do. I'm not gonna show the people this, but no, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what is he talking
about?
You're
right, KD. It did get weird. You were right.
I knew it.
It got weird.
I knew it. It felt it. It was like it just made like an hour. I was like, this is gonna get weird.
How about we just say till next time?
All right, everybody. Till next time. Peace. Finish it off.
And much love to you.
There it is.
Oh, peace out.
Yeah.